There's something for everybody to celebrate this week on the 1 Hour, One Brain Cell podcast, whether it's Cinco de Mayo, whether it's Mother's Day, whether it's, I don't know, if your driver won in Miami, mine didn't, or if you just love the Met Gala. We have lots to cover on this week's episode. And of course, we are referencing Cinco de Mayo as that meme of the person that just put mayo in their sink and not the Mexican holiday Cinco de Mayo, of which there's always good Mexican food to be had, but we don't need a holiday for that. Welcome back to the 1 Hour, One Brain Cell podcast. I am joined, as always, by my co-host and Pope Crave official conclave correspondent, Richie Flores.
Excited. I'll be making the trip out to Rome tomorrow, and I will be on the premises for all multiple days of the conclave. Now, we could be getting a pope sometime this week. Allegedly, by the time this episode drops, we will likely have a new pope, because they have I think they do 2 ballots in the morning and then 2 ballots at night, I think, and so. It usually takes multiple days. I think there was a conclave a while back that took weeks. The last one took 3 days. So at any time we could have a new pope. You never know. Maybe by the time you're watching,
sources are saying it might be by Friday, and I'm pretty sure that having that Ferrari hat is essentially works like a press pass. So you can go anywhere in Italy with that thing.
Yeah, I'm half Italian. Yeah, somebody was making fun of me on Speed Freaks over the weekend because I was wearing this hat on Sunday night, and somebody in the chat, all they were saying was they kept hyper focusing on the fact that I was an American wearing a Ferrari hat, and I was like, yeah, I'm a fan. So what? Yeah. More so of this right here, but that's
not the HP logo. Get that out of here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Puma. No, I don't think there's an HP logo on here. Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, there is. Oh, nope. It's on this side.
Gotcha.
Oh, bitch. Damn it. Yeah, we'll get into that.
It's on there. It's for sure on there.
We'll get into that. I am joined today by my co-host who hates peaches. You were a peach hater. Why do you hate peaches?
I'm not a hater of the Rockford peaches. I'm just a hater of peach flavoring. Let's just make that
Why?
Clear.
Why? I don't get it.
I just don't like it. There's something about it.
Do you like the
Do you like
actual peaches?
Yeah, actual peaches are fine. I just don't really love the peach flavoring and stuff. I don't know if it's just because this is a personal gripe of mine, but my mom knows this, but she always used to use these fruit and citrus flavored hand soap, and it was always peach or white citrus or lemon or something. And at an age as a child, I became convinced that I could taste whatever soap she was using, in the food, if she had touched it. And so I was like, this tastes like peach. And I think maybe I have residual trauma from that I don't like peach flavoring. I'll drink it, I guess. I got a surprise Rebel one time at Dutch Bros, and I didn't tell them that there were any flavors I didn't like, and it was a peach ring, and that was the last time I got a surprise Rebel without telling them that.
Oops.
So, yeah, my fault.
Well, too bad for you, because this Red Bull is is actually pretty delicious.
All right. I'll take my losses on that one. You want to show us the brand or just the nutrition facts?
This is the summer edition.
I got my Nerds gummy clusters over here. We're good. I'll recover. I'm not missing anything.
White peach. And this is, it's delicious. I love peach flavored energy drinks. I think the Celsius one that's peach flavored is great. There's an accelerator one that's good as well. So it's it's especially in the summer, it's got that sweetness to it, and it's so good. So shout out to the summer edition. No, it's still not as good as the ice vanilla berry, which is still, I think, my elite tier flavor that I need to bring back, and I should have gotten
Hmm.
like I when I was at QT and they had a bunch, I bought 6 of the iced vanilla berry. I should have just bought in the whole damn fridge. I'd be like, can I get whatever cases you have left back there and
We
just
can't be hoarding. That's too much. But I do think I still have
ooh, that is
to
good. That's so good.
validate your point. I think I do still have that peach vibe Celsius that I bought you for Vatican trip that you didn't drink. There was an extra one, and
What?
I think it's just gonna live in my fridge because I won't drink it. It's peach.
Wait, I left one. That's not like me. I 100% should have.
You left one. It may have just been because you were like gonna go to the airport, but you definitely left one. There's a full can of Celsius in my fridge, and I don't drink Celsius, so I know it's yours.
Oh, it's 100% mine.
Yeah,
Damn it. Well,
yeah.
how did I manage that? Oh, maybe because like I didn't want to drink multiples per day or something. I don't know. That's strange that I didn't bring it with me. Damn. Oh well.
Well, it can live here until the next time you come visit, I guess,
Next time I see you,
or
because it's
until
not.
one of my parents drinks it, whichever comes first.
I guess, because I can drink it past the expiration date. You know.
Yeah, it's just the Best Buy date. It won't kill you. Probably.
All right, let's continue on with the show for goodness sake.
Yeah. Should we get on an actual topic here?
Mm-hmm.
s- Speaking of things that we buy from the grocery store, let's go to your first topic here on the list, which is the necessity of grocery lists. Now, we teased this last week, but we didn't have enough time for it. And I think this was just a random text that I got from you.
Yes.
I don't remember. It was either last week or the week before. But you were like, "Dude, I am just wandering in the grocery store because I can't remember what I need. Like I didn't make a list, and I'm just wandering aisle to aisle." And I texted you back and I said, "I will not go in the grocery store until my list is finished," which I believe you said was a hard description of our character and our personalities.
Yes. I'd say that's the perfect description. One of us makes lists and one of us doesn't, and that's the welcome to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Shocker.
Yeah, if you are just getting here, that makes a lot of sense, I think,
But
for the two of us.
I hate making lists for the grocery store because I I I it's like a little challenge to myself that I remember what to get. Um, and also, like I feel like if you're just sitting there making a list, sometimes you put too much on the list, and so you kind of get stuff that you maybe necessarily don't need. And so if I go and I go and I have like my go tos, that's what I'll normally get. I'll just get my like normal go to grocery because I'll have a list of like that I get every week I go because that's what I eat
Hmm.
all the time, right? Chicken, um, meat, whatever, right? And that's what you get, and that's what I get every week, and then and then I will forget other things. It did happen last week. I forget while I was there and I was like I was something that I needed to get to make something and I forgot it. So I had to go back the next day. So that was my basis
Yeah.
point is like that's the big point. We've talked about it before. You show up and then you it's like that the Family Guy thing and you make that list and you forget and you completely forget about it. So
Yeah. It's like
so
a
I
gallon of
hate
milk,
making
a loaf of bread, a stick of butter, a loaf of butter, a gallon of bread, and a Joe Dirt DVD. A Joe Dirt DVD, Scarlett Johansson, and I don't know, but he just every time Peter runs through the list, he comes up with something different, and he ends up with Scarlett Johansson at the end of it. Um, I feel the opposite though. Like I forget things if I don't pre-make my list, and I end up with things I don't need if I don't pre-make my list. Because if I don't, then I start wandering and I'll like go down the aisles and be like, "Oh, you know what? I'm kind of out of gum," or like, "What if I want to make this? I'm gonna need one of these." And I'm usually guilty of picking up like a cracker or an Oreo or something that I don't really need as I'm like stalling in the aisles. Um, I like making my list at home because then I can look at what I have in my kitchen and in my fridge and be like, "Okay, I'm gonna run out of this before the next time I go to the store, so I need to add it."
right, right.
I like to consider going to the grocery store as a tactical operation because if I'm not in and out of there in like 20 minutes, it's like mission failed. I hate being in there. I don't want to be in there. And there's too many people and the parking lot is crazy. And I almost got hit by like 2 minivans this week in the Kroger parking lot. And I think I sent you that voice note the other week when I was getting stalked by all those
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
Lincoln and Buick cars. Oh my God. I don't know if I told this story. Do you remember if I told this on the podcast?
I don't think you said it on the show. No.
I I was oh my God. I don't know what the deal was about this day specifically, but I was in the parking lot and I was driving around and like there were all these cars that were like going real slow or like pulling out of parking spots or something and like I come up to this one car and it's this like long body white car like a Lincoln Continental or like a Buick something or other, right? And it's got like pieces falling off. I'm like, this is a terrible car. This is a dumpster, and it's a dumpster on wheels. And so I'm like, I'm gonna avoid this and go to the next aisle. And then I go to the next aisle, and then coming down at me is another one of those cars, and I'm like, oh my God, this can't be the same one. I'm hallucinating. So I pull into the parking spot. I go into the grocery store. I go about my business. I come back out, and I'm getting ready to cross the street, and another long body white Buick Lincoln car, unidentifiable, rolls the stop sign, right? And just like I would have died had I been about 10 more feet into the street. I'm pushing my cart to my car. I get all my groceries in my car. I turn around to go put the cart in the little thing because that's the good person test is do you put your cart away? And as I turn around from putting my cart away, another long body white dumpster on wheels rolling by, stalking me for my parking spot, waiting to see if I'm gonna leave. I'm like, I have to get out of here because this is crazy. I'm actually having a fever dream at this point. Like, who did this? Anyway, the Kroger
Fighting
parking
for
lot is
your
the
life.
lawless place.
Here's your here is your podcast episode title. Ready? Mm-hmm. Okay. You were fighting for your life in the Kroger parking lot.
Okay. Can I like to include everyone. Can we change it to fighting for our lives in the Kroger parking lot?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. Done.
Close enough.
Print it. Yeah.
There you go. You know how you fix that? You know how you fix that? Here's the great thing. I live within walking distance of my Target, so I could walk to Target if I wanted to. And I did that like yesterday, I think. I walked there and I walked back and I got my little 2 bags worth of groceries and it was great. Half of which
So you want me to move? That's your solution to this? Move apartments to be closer to the Kroger?
Oh yeah,
Thanks.
it's too far away.
Yeah, practical.
just do a little hitchhiking.
Yeah, great. That's a smart idea. Awesome.
Dude, you know what? It's been raining here lately, which is a shocker. It rained on like Sunday and it rained on Monday and it rained earlier, like it rained last night. It's been raining for like 3 days straight and it's like perfect weather. Like couldn't be better. When I was driving to Target today to get some, I drove there today because I had more stuff to get.
Just walk.
I didn't want to carry everything.
You set yourself up for that. Come on. You're like, hey, you know how you fix that? Live within walking distance. Anyway, I was driving there today. Like, wait a minute.
The limit is 2 bags. If I can carry the 2 bags, then we're good. But I had more than 2 bags today.
The limit does not exist if you're stubborn. Just do it. One trip it.
My list today included, I didn't even make a list, but the only things I got today, I kid you not, were I picked up my prescription from CVS.
Okay.
I got new Swiffer cleaning solution because I've been out of that for a while and I need to clean my floors, and coffee creamer. And that was it.
Yeah. So coffee creamer, household cleaning supplies, and your rash ointment. Got it.
Yes.
Perfect. That's a great grocery list. I'm really proud of you. And I'm proud that you remembered those three things the second time you went. So,
It was great because I did the. Well, here's the thing. When I was there the other day, I was dumb and I walked past an aisle with the goodies, and I usually don't buy the goodies. The goodies aren't for me. I don't like buying the goodies. They're bad for your health, so I tend to stay away from them. But I walked by the goodie section on Monday, and I walked by the section in which there are like the little brownies, or not the brownies, but like, the little Debbies and stuff like that. And they
the little
had,
Deppies. Fans of
yeah,
Deborah Vance. Yeah.
yes,
That's your section.
yeah. And they had Reese's peanut butter cup, like cupcakes,
Okay.
sold.
Yeah.
Sold. Ate them all. They're gone already. I think there was like, like there's, I don't know how many were in the box, but they're gone by now. Empty box already, which is why I don't buy the goodies, because it's bad for me and I will just blow through them quickly.
Yeah, I'm rationing these Nerds clusters that I bought a while ago. I've been using them as pre-workout, which you shouldn't do, but I'm like, well, because some people take pre-workout, but it has like, caffeine and stimulants and all kinds of crazy stuff in it that like it's supposed to give you energy before you go and lift heavy stuff. And I'm like, look, I'm just going to get some cardio in, so I'm gonna eat like 2 of these Nerds gummy clusters and like call it a day. Like that's enough sugar. It'll be fine. Yeah. We're
Close
good
enough.
about it
We'll
here.
allow it.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have done the same thing. Faced with the temptation of Reese's peanut butter cup cupcakes, they would also be gone in my household. All right. Where would you like to go? We have actual topics to stay on this week for the remainder of the episode that have a lot of bullet points on them. Do you want to start with the race that happened, or do you want to start with your Letterboxd? Because I feel like both of those are quicker.
Yeah, let's get the quick stuff out of the way. Let's get the quick stuff out of the way.
Okay, let's start with the race. Miami, which famously had Lando Norris's first win gifted under the safety car last year, and had another Lando Norris gifted sprint win under the safety car this year. And Oscar was kind of over it, as he should be, but it just was bad timing. And we're usually fans of our Diva the safety car, but our Diva the safety car was not helping us this weekend.
No, no, not one bit. It was also very a little rainy this weekend in Miami. The F1 Academy race had to be canceled because like they were trying to drive in what appeared to be a lake in the parking lot of the Dolphin Stadium.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like I think it was Oscar on the radio that was like before the sprint race. It's like, well, turn 10 is a river, so yeah, felt. And the F1 Academy cars do not have the same downforce, the same weight, the same stability and like ability to handle those conditions as the F1 cars do. So like while the racecraft probably would have been okay, it was maybe a safety concern to have them go, so I'm glad that they canceled it. The F1 race, the feature race, ended up missing the rain, which I think was everybody's concern. It was supposed to happen and then it didn't, so we didn't get any crazy pit stops for that, but we did get some crashes. And it seems like the same rookies, including Fernando Alonso, are kind of being out and out of the points every week, which is a bummer.
Including Jack Doohan, who is now, as we've speculated, and pretty much the most open secret in the world is that Jack Doohan was basically a I don't know how the best to describe it, but like we all knew he was not long for this world in the Alpine seat. So
yeah, he was just a bridge to Franco Colapinto.
our
He's great.
Argentinian mate drinking king, Franco Colapinto.
That picture you sent me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just walking through the paddock drinking his mate, like in the cup with the, I don't know if it's a spoon or like a ceremonial straw or something, but
Yeah.
he's serving it.
My favorite video from Franco last year was when he was with Williams. I think he did a video of him and Alex Albon drinking mate, and they were showing him like how to make it. and Alex like was stirring it, and Franco got so mad because you're not supposed to stir it. It was the funniest thing.
Yeah, he was shading Alex for his mate preparation, but
And
I
yeah,
don't
but
know what that
anyway,
pairing. I don't know what that pairing is going to be like. I, if Jack, who seems pretty low key and pretty chill, was beefing with Alpine, and I don't know if he was beefing with Pierre, but for somebody who's got a little more experience and can speak up for themselves a little bit more in Franco, I don't know what that team dynamic is going to be like. Alpine is maybe
it's
in
crap.
trouble a little bit.
It's total
Yeah.
crap. I don't know if you saw the breaking news from today on Tuesday, but they sacked their team principal,
Hmm.
and they're letting Flavio Briatore run the show there now. In
Bad.
case, yeah, in case you
Bad.
don't know the history of Flavio Briatore, this man is maybe the most controversial man in the history of Formula One. He's been involved in just about in like half a dozen scandals at this point. The most infamous of which was Crashgate in 2008 in Singapore when Renault intentionally crashed Nelson Piquet Jr. to bring out a safety car to give Fernando Alonso a win.
Hmm.
And he was eventually banned from the sport for multiple years because of that. And now he's back, which is
Yep.
crazy. Crazy. He was. I had to look back into this again because I didn't remember the full details of like how long he was suspended and whatnot. But eventually went through the courts and they overturned the suspension a couple years later. So, but that is insane to me. Like, can you imagine anybody else who is banned from your sport because of a cheating scandal? And then they're like, "Oh yeah, you can come back now." Right? Like
No, it's like just forever. MLB was very adamant that like none of Pete Rose's records should stand, and I mean, really, come on, like there's a precedent in other sports where like if you ban a guy or you say that this shouldn't stand or you asterisk it, like really, we probably shouldn't renege on that. And anyway, it is what it is. It's Alpine, so who knows? Dumpster fire.
yeah. Yep. Absolute mess. Absolute mess
Hmm.
over there. So there was that. Other thing I would like to mention, I didn't put in the things here, but it was fun, was the Lego race. Or like the
Very
it wasn't a
fun.
race, but the
It should have
Lego
been.
like drivers parade.
It should have been. I would pay to see that. I would pay to see like more laps of that. That looked fun. There were people that spent hundreds of hours like
Yeah.
building those cars out of Lego, and then you gave them to these professional drivers, and all they did was try and crash each other and put parts off of it. Like they're just children.
Yep. 400,000 bricks in each of these cars. And then there was a little bit of a chassis to support them because they actually had to move.
Sure, and they had to have actual wheels mounted on them too. So like you had
Yeah.
to have something you could support a proper
3,000
prototype on.
hours of development and a further 19,000 hours of assembly to build all 10 cars. Only for these guys to get on the track and just wreck them all. So
Hmm.
much so that there were like pieces of Lego on the track still left over that
Yep.
were probably that they had missed.
I was like, we're gonna
Cause
get a safety car because some car stepped on a Lego. Like that's life imitates art.
And it was like, yeah, it was so much fun seeing all these drivers' perspectives on it because you could tell they were having like an absolute blast in those things. And they were only going 12 miles an hour. We had the Mercedes like crashed and didn't even move any further. Um,
Hmm.
we had like some wheel to wheel going on with the Ferrari. Like
Hmm.
we had Max doing a little bump and run with the McLaren. It
Yeah,
was, yeah.
Max hit the McLaren. Max hit the. I think we hit the Williams a little bit. We hit Gasly. Ferrari and Red Bull both hit Gasly because Gasly decided to drive right up the middle, which again Alpine. But they were cackling, laughing, and the second drivers in the back too were like having a great time because they just had the best perspective of the whole thing.
Yeah. And the other one of my favorite videos was the one where they go into like those slower. They went into like those slower speed corners with in those things, and everybody like was like cutting the corner, except for
Mm-hmm.
Max, who was made starting to stay on track limits.
Mm-hmm. He said, I will not be taking out that bollard. I will not be repeating my mistake from last year." Yep.
Yep. So that
The
was
race
fun, and then that
itself
was
was,
yeah, that was where the
eh,
fun ended because everything
yeah.
went to hell in a handbasket from there for both of us, really.
The first couple laps were kind of great. Like, I don't know, laps like 1 through 10 was pretty fast paced. There was a lot of overtaking, definitely more than we saw at Miami last year, to my
Mm-hmm.
memory. And but then after that, it settled down. People started going through their pit stops, going through the motions, and then McLaren somehow got like 35 seconds ahead of the whole rest of the field. And that was where the fun ended. And then all the rookies got out, so except for Isaac. Isaac, I think, didn't get out, and then Kimmy's been driving great. And Fernando, I think, made it. No, he didn't make it. Did he make it through the race? He didn't make it through the sprint race.
Which one?
Fernando.
Alonso.
Yeah.
He finished the race, but he did
Mm.
spin at one point, if I'm not
Well, there's
mistaken.
progress because he finished the race, so there's that.
Right.
Aston Martin's in trouble, but
Um.
we got some
Yeah.
creative team radio from your side if you'd like to walk me
Yeah. I
through
will
this
say
one.
real quick one thing about the racing. Like, there's some great side by side racing. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
some of the best of the season. Between Max and the McLarens. Um. And just incredible defense for Max in the third/fourth best car in the grid against these absolute rocket ship McLarens, which led, of course, to Oscar Piastri being smart and buying his time to get that overtake to happen, and then you have Lando Norris who is impatient as all get out and was just doing ridiculous stuff to try and get past Max and of course, not his fault. It's all Max's fault, but we'll get to that in a second.
Sure.
So yeah, and then we got later in the race. Lewis had a bad qualifying finish. He qualified P12, so he had to move back through the field, and he did, and got back into the points. Had some great overtakes, including one of Esteban Ocon, which gave us the great pictures of Ocon's engineer, Laura Mueller, just making the greatest faces in the history of mankind.
Mm-hmm. Also, the face I think all of us make watching something like that occur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get to the battle of the Ferraris because great overtake, double overtake of the Williams, Carlos Sainz. That was really fun to watch as they both made that move on Carlos Sainz. Double points for Williams. Shout out who
Great weekend for Williams.
are like fast out of nowhere, faster. Like what's a polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas? Alex Albon finishing fifth ahead of a Mercedes and both of the Ferraris. So yeah, so we get to the point in the race where we get to the final stint, and Lewis and Charles are seventh and eighth, and they're trying to catch into sixth to catch Kimi Antonelli. And then we get shenanigans happening where Lewis is on the faster medium tire while Charles is on the harder tire to begin the stint. So Lewis is on the back of Charles within DRS, and he's trying to convince the team, hey, let me go. I can go on these medium tires and catch Kimi on the hard tires. And they took multiple laps to figure this out before they put the team orders in to allow Lewis to go through, and by then it was too late. And there was not enough laps left to catch Kimi into P6. So
I
I'm
just
gonna
don't think
read.
either of them had the pace to do that. At that point, Antonelli was like 5.5 seconds ahead, and they weren't really. Neither of them were making very many inroads on him.
Yeah,
Like, I guess you had to give it a shot because Lewis had softer tires, but like nobody. I just don't think they were catching him. I think maybe all this was for nothing.
I don't think so either. It was gonna be hard to overtake him for sure. That late in the race, it was gonna be really hard because Lewis was only 2 or 3 tenths faster than Kimi there. So you let Lewis through a couple laps earlier, maybe he's 4 or 5 tenths quicker, and that's just not enough time especially as those medium tires degrade. I don't know if that would have been enough time. But anyway, let me read you some of the messages we got over Lewis's radio. He was feisty on the radio. Lewis, you want me to just sit here the whole race? Adami, I'll come back to you. Lewis on the radio. In China, I got out of the way when we were on a different strategy. Have a tea break while you're at it. Come on. Hamilton.
I think that occurred in the middle of the the driver swap while they were discussing, and it took a little while to discuss, like you said, and then they finally decided to swap the positions, and they were like, okay, swap positions. He's like, oh yeah, okay, have a tea break while you're at it. Like, that took long enough. Yeah.
So good. Lewis, this is not good teamwork. That's all I'm going to say. And then my other favorite, Adami, signs 1.4 behind. You want me to let him pass as well?
Yeah, that was crazy. That was a little extra spicy from Sir Lewis, but there was some good team radio. That was really the only thing worth watching in the back half of that race anyway, so at least they gave us something to look forward to.
Yeah, I agree. Signs almost got past Lewis. Little feisty under the last corner.
Oh yeah, that was a send.
And he didn't get a penalty or anything afterwards, but
No.
whatever. It is what it is. We're going into our home race next. I think we're going into Imola. So we're going to be back. We're going to be back for Imola, and then we go to Monaco where Charles is really good. So
Yeah, but Ferrari
exciting.
have had issues in qualifying. Their race pace is like okay, but so far they're not qualifying much better than like 5th and 6th or 7th and 8th or something.
Yeah.
And around Monaco, it just turns into a parade after you
Yeah,
qualify.
it's all
so,
qualifying.
Yeah, I worry about that for them.
I mean, I think Charles is one of the best at getting around that track for sure, seemingly. So, hey, if anybody can get the most out of a car that is very average this year, it's Chuck. So I trust Chuck in the Ferrari and Max in the Red Bull more than I trust Lando and Oscar in the papayas around Monaco. But that's me.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know exactly. Does Monaco happen? Monaco happens before Spain, so they're still gonna have whatever. Everybody's gonna have those front wing parts still. Look, having a rocket ship around there might not be the easiest thing because of how tight and how challenging that circuit is, and we haven't seen anything on the calendar like that so far this season. So that'll be.
I will say, that was where McLaren was good in Miami, where they were just ridiculous through that middle part of the track, where in those lower speed corners, ridiculous, and that's where they really made up all their pace, on anybody else, especially during the race. So, yeah, we'll see.
All right. I'm so sorry to everybody that liked this, but the livery looked terrible. Your red and white and blue thing.
It sucked. It was god awful. I don't know what they were thinking. The suits were terrible.
VCarb award
Solid.
for best livery. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. That was good.
Yeah,
And the Salbers,
posting the erasers and all kinds of things.
The Salbers also had a special livery, but we never saw them, so that doesn't count.
No. Yeah, they were never on the broadcast. They were never anywhere. They were just driving around in circles. Like, God bless Nico Hulkenberg for putting up with that for a year before it changes to Audi. But like, I would not have gone through that pain and torment.
All right, moving on.
We move. Okay.
Oh yeah, real quick. We didn't mention it. Lando Norris sucks, but we knew that already.
We say that every week. Yeah, that's Fork Fountain Kitchen. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Move on.
Yeah, get PR training and stop trying to make him the number one driver. Let's go to movies because we have that. You watched Cabaret. What'd you think?
I did watch Cabaret. I texted you about that earlier in the week, and you were probably like, "Huh? Why in the world did you randomly watch Cabaret on a random?"
Can you tell me about your thought process on that? Because that was not a movie I would have picked for you.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep the other night, and this was like midnight, and I was like, I need something to fall asleep to. And I was going through my list. I was like, you know what? It's on my list to watch. I didn't even remember why I put it on there. But it was on there, and I was like, I'll watch Cabaret, and I actually really enjoyed it. I liked it. Which maybe I gave it what? I gave it 4 stars on Letterboxd, I think.
I don't know. It was 3.5 or 4, I think. I don't remember exactly.
Let's see. Let's see. It was 4. Yeah, I gave it 4.
4. Wow.
So yeah, I actually quite enjoyed it. I was surprised how much I liked it. Um, but the one thing is, well, I didn't tell you I was going to watch it beforehand, but I put this in the doc. Why didn't you tell me that movie was as horny as it was?
Because you didn't ask me beforehand if I had any opinions or anything that I knew about. I was like, this is not a movie Richie's ever going to watch. I didn't feel it was necessary to give you the disclaimer, and then you went and did it anyway, so it's not my fault. Don't try and put this on me.
Don't put that juju on me, Ricky Bobby.
But it is, and it's great, and I told you I'm more of a fan of the stage production
Yeah.
with Alan Cumming as the MC than I am of the movie with Joel Grey and Liza Minnelli. Liza Minnelli's fine. She's an icon and always will be, but the it's hard to find the stage production as well. You have to like go on YouTube and it's somebody's like grainy camcorder footage from the 90s, but like also still a really good performance. But yeah, if you're interested at all in Cabaret and or its parallels to our current societal and political climate, you can watch it, and it's also on Broadway right now. They're running the Kit Kat Club on Broadway right now, and I believe it's Orville Peck and Eva Noblezada.
Oh,
So great cast. That's
interesting.
They've been good casts the whole time, but they're great. So
Um, was that the one that Eddie Redmayne was the? Yeah, he was the
yeah.
MC guy for a bit there. And
Yeah,
this
Eddie
was like,
Redmayne was in it for a bit, and then Adam Lambert was in it for a bit, and Ali Carvalho was in it for a bit.
oh, nice. Anyway, yeah, you know what my favorite thing, like the cool thing, I love sometimes going back and watching movies from the 1970s because I've seen so many like cinephiles talk about this and like, watched, documentaries about movies and the history of film. And people always speak so highly of the 1970s in terms of how good cinema was back then. And I think Cabaret is the perfect example of it because it was nominated in pretty much everything it won 8 Academy Awards that year. It was up against The Godfather, for goodness sake, right? And it
Yeah,
still won a bunch of
heavyweight.
awards. Yeah. And there's just like the way this movie is made, I thought that's what like kind of got me into it is you just don't get movies made like that anymore. Like it was, an artistic like director, the way he shot a lot of those musical sequences was shot really well, and it's like a film. I've said this before, but like there's a difference between a movie and a film, and like
Yeah,
Cabaret is a film, and we just don't get that kind of stuff anymore. And
I
so
agree.
I
It may have
appreciate.
just been too because it was like harder to produce and come up with something like that, and the scale and the stage and everything had to be done practically. We don't do that so much nowadays. We have these big sound stages and sets and props and CGI and all kinds of stuff. But there was like when you made a movie back then, you could tell who was really like put their heart into it and
Yeah.
made it because they love it and not just to go make a movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
And
like
it was
that's the great thing.
different.
Yeah. It was like you weren't out to make movies to make a crap ton of money in the 1970s. You were being an auteur or being an artistic, and that's what a lot of those movies were back then. Before, I was watching a podcast today about the original Star Wars movie, and they were talking about how Star Wars and Jaws, to a certain extent, like changed the entire movie industry into this blockbuster thing that could become, you know, the things that made money, right? And so
Sure.
that's what movies became in the '80s and really in the '90s, and and still to this day. But anyway, like I was thinking about this too after watching it. I was like, we would not have gotten, because there are some similarities, if not a decent amount of similarities between Baz Luhrmann's Moulin Rouge and Cabaret, and a lot
Hmm.
of and because Cabaret, he put in these like insert shots, and the way the the musical sequence is directed, there's like a lot going on, and there's a couple sequences where you're on stage with the musical, and it's a quick cut to another scene of a Nazi beating up this dude on the street, and it's happening at the same time, and you're getting a lot of that. Or you have this scene later in the movie where the two characters go and are eating, lunch, and then you break out in the propagandistic Nazi song, right? And you have that, and it's a really, and the way that's edited is reminding me a lot of Moulin Rouge. I don't know how long it's been since you've seen Cabaret, but that's kind of what we're running through. We don't get Moulin Rouge without Cabaret. Cabaret was like, I was reading about it, and like it's thought to be at this point, even to this day, as one of the kind of like first kind of modern musicals, right? Because you obviously had those musicals in the 50s and 60s, Singing in the Rain, et cetera, et cetera. But like Cabaret
Sure.
was the first kind of modern musical that kind of set the stage for, your Moulin Rouges, La La Land, whatever, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, and it has been a minute since I've seen Cabaret, but like I'm thinking of like the opening shot, like literally as the credits are coming and the cast is coming across the stage, and it's like zoomed in on this. I think it's like a silver, I don't know, pitcher or a chalice or something like on a table, and they're introducing all the cast, and then you see Joel Grey's like MC's face like reflected in the chalice, and then
Mm-hmm.
it quickly pans you to the actual person, and like you said, that's very Baz Luhrmann in the way that it's shot, and it very clearly inspired, and that's carried on. And that's what's great about movies and stage productions and things, is like every little bit is tethered and tied to something else that you've seen and been inspired by, and it coming up with new ideas is hard, and it's revolutionary when it happens, but it's also cool sometimes to just make a nod to something else that you
Mm-hmm.
loved, and people will get it.
Right. Can we touch on Thunderbolts real quick before we move on?
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about absolute cinema.
Thunderbolts with an asterisk.
Mhm. Yeah, I
I'm,
mean,
dude,
by
I'm
by the
so
time this
mad.
by the time this comes out, they probably will have formally changed it everywhere as well.
It's like, I'm so mad that they were like, oh, we're gonna give it a weekend, and then we're just gonna spoil the end of the movie.
I'm not I see where it came from though, because everybody was talking about it, and in today's day and age with social media and things, like this is even more of a spoiler and instant content climate than it was when Infinity War and Endgame happened. Like people no longer have reservations about just going and posting things about the movie. So
Mm-hmm.
like it was
Yeah.
definitely gonna come out. So for the people that have seen it, we're gonna spoiler it and tag it right here, but don't go any further. But
Yes.
they they are changing the posters from Thunderbolts with an asterisk to the leading asterisk to say New Avengers. That's and it at the end of the movie. That's what they have revealed that they've changed the title to be. I will be. I think I'll be calling it Thunderbolts for the foreseeable future. I would like to talk about our little found family dynamic versus Avengers. I don't like that that's overshadowing. I like our little team.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. I really enjoyed this movie. I did not know what to expect whatsoever going into this movie.
Mm-mm.
My expectations were kind of like, all right, this should be kind of fun, right? Because obviously, I think what hooked you and I to the movie is obviously Yelena and Red Guardian, the characters
Mm-hmm.
that we love so much from Black Widow. Like, those characters were in it. So I think you and I were maybe more attached to this movie than a lot of other folks who were maybe
Yeah, it's
more
an
casual.
instant yes from me. You put Florence Pugh and David Harbour and those characters back in the
Yeah.
MCU. I'm like, I'm gonna buy a ticket.
Yeah. And so like you and I were going to be more locked into this movie. So I was like, the entire process was like, man, I really want this movie to be good, but I don't know if it's, where, especially how the MCU is now, what to expect from it. And in a lot of ways, I was like super, super surprised with how good this movie is. And I'm so glad that we got the movie that we did. And I can't remember if I texted you about it or we had talked about it previously, but like it reminded me of like old MCU. It reminded me of like phase one and phase. This is a movie that if it would have came out in phase one and phase two, it would have made so much. It would have made $1 billion plus, easy,
Yeah, I agree
easy,
with that.
right?
It does. It feels like it fits the formula, and like this is, I think, where Marvel has been going wrong lately. As I think more about it, and yes, one, we've been oversaturated with the number of series and the number of theatrical releases and things that are coming out. That's just hard to keep up with it. But they've been prioritizing this like scale and quantity over quality lately. And this movie, at its core, it's about this little team and these stupid idiots who should not be able to work together that are. And it very much feels like the original Avengers movie, but in the sense that like these folks really do like each other, and it's not just like, hey, we're coworkers and also we all have
Yeah,
superpowers. It's like, all right, we're all out of it. We're all down on our luck. We're all essentially like rogue agents from the government, from, everything else. That's like, we don't have to work together, but I kind of like these guys and I'm too stubborn to just let them die on my watch. And that's the dynamic I think we've been missing is like throw out all the giant space fights and the future of the universe every single movie and just give us one tight knit group of idiots out for shawarma or camping or driving around
yeah,
in Red
yeah,
Guardian's limo. Like that's the dynamic that we were missing, and they did a great job with it. And they did a great job with their stance on like I don't know, I guess as the overarching theme and plot of this having it be sort of like a commentary on mental health, but they did a great job on it without needing to feel like they were deadening it with a joke every 5 seconds or
yeah,
tampering it down. It was kind of a cool dynamic that when they showed this void and this thing, it wasn't this big giant space fight. It's like it took over. It was quiet. Everything got dark. It was, for what it's worth, as far as a symbol or a metaphor, it was well done in that way.
yeah. Florence Pugh and Lewis Pullman made the movie for me. Without those two being as good as they were, and without the s- their story arcs being as good as they were, the movie doesn't work.
Hmm.
And both of their arcs were great. And Lewis Pullman is great in this movie. And
The Lewis
I don't,
Pullman Bob cinematic universe.
yeah, yeah, exactly. He always plays Bob. That was so funny. Um, I don't know if you know this. I think you did, but they recasted that role of Sentry. Did you know this?
I did not know that. Who was initially
The
tagged for that?
original actor who was supposed to play Sentry is Steven Yeun of
Okay.
Walking Dead fame. Um, and he was supposed to play Sentry. And I remember when he got cast, I was like, oh, dude, that should be cool. I like Steven Yeun. He's a great actor.
Sure.
And then he got replaced by Lewis Pullman. I was like, I don't know if that's gonna work. But the way this character is written and the way Lewis Pullman does it, I can't picture anybody else but Lewis in that role. And
Yeah.
he was so good. Plays the role perfectly. Um, this is like what we're missing in our superhero storytelling is focusing on character arcs as opposed to cameos and big CG, fights and that kind of thing, right? I think that's what makes this movie one of my favorite MCU movies that we've had in a while. Like I'm the one that comes to mind for me is like you and I obviously both love Black Widow.
Yeah.
Spider-Man No Way Home was massive and it was fun to see, but it doesn't hold up to me.
It doesn't have that same emotional weight because it has less of its like humanity at its core than it does with the scale and the spectacle and the
Yeah, and
multiverse and all that other
yeah, it
stuff.
was cameos. And like the thing I do like about that movie is there are arcs for, all the different Spider-Man in there, but at its
Yeah.
core it's just throwing cameos at the screen, and I think that's why it doesn't hold up as well. So it's like I love Shang-Chi. I think Shang-Chi is like I think it's become underrated that people don't talk about how good that movie was and how
Sure.
great like the bus. You remember the bus fight in that movie?
That was a great scene. I will tell you, didn't love Aquafina in that movie and didn't love the big CGI dragon at the end.
Yeah.
But again, it held tight to its core characters and really worked hard on developing that. I thought it was kind of a lot like the Marvels, where like you got each of those people as well with some of their own individual character development without feeling like we needed to throw a bunch of guest stars and cameos and
Yeah.
things in it. We're like, this is our story, these are our people, let's stick to it.
Yeah, and again, you and I both love the Marvels too. I should have mentioned that
Yeah.
one too because I think the Marvels is a good kind of comparison in a way where it's all these characters that have been introduced and they all get their own arcs. But for whatever reason, that movie just didn't hit with people
It's
like it
it's
did
like the
with
original
you and I.
Avengers, man. It's not the same blueprint, but it's similar, and it reminds me a lot of that, where it's like the first couple of times you get the original Avengers all teaming up, that they all had their own movies to that point in time, but
Yeah,
they all had their own intro. Well, minus Black Widow and Hawkeye, but we had introductions to all of them throughout this, and then you stuck them all together, but those felt like coworkers with superpowers. These guys are not that. They can't fly. They can't, they like you have John Walker, who also I'll say I didn't really love John Walker in the Falcon and Winter Soldier
yeah,
series. I thought he was kind of a jerk. He's still kind of a jerk, but he's become a likable jerk somehow.
yeah,
Something they
yeah,
did with his character here. I was like, I kind of found myself pulling for John Walker, and I love that they didn't change his they didn't feel the need to fully change his character's personality in order to do it. They did it through good writing, they did it through, his
yeah,
actions on screen, but like at the root, these are all the same people we've seen and been introduced to before. We're just seeing them develop without feeling the need to like really have them flip a switch from project to project in order to
yeah,
make us like them, which is also an achievement.
yeah. There's a great interview that the Ringer did with the director of Thunderbolts, and it was really interesting to hear him kind of go through his process and how this movie got made, and how and like most they don't a lot of the MCU directors. I saw somebody comment this, and it's true. Like, there's not very many MCU directors that are gonna hop on a podcast and really take you into the process of making a movie in the Marvel system, and this was his first movie in the Marvel system. He had done some indie stuff previously, but I highly recommend going to check that out. It's really interesting. And he talks about kind of how the movie changed in the process and how it changed from what was originally intended to the strike happened, and then they changed the movie a little bit after the strike, etc.,
Mm-hmm.
etc. But yeah, this movie is already it's making a decent amount of money, which is awesome. And it's just a bummer that again some of the stuff is getting spoiled. Granted, I think it was
By the cast, yeah.
I kind of saw. I think we all kind of figured that this title change was gonna happen. Like, if you were kind of paying attention, like that was the big rumors. Like, there's a reason the asterisk is there, and we were all trying to figure out why. So it's not like the biggest spoiler in the world, but like when they still did it, it was still kind of a cool little reveal at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Um,
I was like, the
yeah, this
asterisk is because they're sponsored by Shane's Tire, right? Yeah. That was
but yeah,
great. That was a great scene in the movie.
the dynamic between all of them was so funny. David Harbour is hilarious. Like, I'll watch him in anything, man. I love Red Guardian. He's so good as Alexi.
Yeah, and like you put David Harbour and Florence Pugh in there with these like I mean, half cartoony Russian accents. But I'm still gonna watch it. I'm still gonna eat it up. It's still five
Yeah.
stars. Like that, nobody else can pull that off. I don't think.
Yeah.
Justice for
So yeah,
Taskmaster, though. I'll say it. Justice for Taskmaster.
okay. So actually, speaking of the interview, they asked him about why that happened, and originally, Taskmaster was going to be in more of the movie, but they decided to change it because he was like,
Because
we
people
wanted
threw a
to
fit after Black Widow that Taskmaster was a girl.
not exactly. I'm sure that was a
Okay,
part
but
of it.
that did
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. But he was like, we, in the original process of making this movie, in the writing process, the movie was too bloodless for what was supposed to be a movie about a bunch of hired mercenaries that are supposed to kill people. And so they're
Sure.
like, all right, we need to do something that is going to make this movie have a little bit more edge to it. And so that's what they decided to do, is they decided to kill off Taskmaster in the first
Yeah, I
15
mean,
minutes
it,
of the movie.
it did its job. It upped the stakes right away, but it was like, I think I sent you this tweet, but it was like somebody, I don't know if this is reputable, but there was like a scrapped plot point where like Taskmaster had memory loss and kept trying to kill John Walker like throughout the movie, even though they were like friends at that point. It's like that would have been kind of a funny dynamic, but I like the way it was done. I gave it 5 stars. I think you gave it 4.5.
I gave it 4.5. Yeah, it was just shy of a 5-star movie for me. But yeah, I loved it. MC was back, baby. The Thunderbolts will return, and Avengers Doomsday, allegedly. But side note, I have said this before, but like, still not on board with the Doomsday thing. I don't think it's gonna work for me.
I don't like Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom.
Yeah, I think we've said that before.
I think we've said that.
Yeah.
We're like, no, come on, just don't do this. Don't bring back the same actors for just the sake of a check.
Yeah.
Let
Again,
him
it's
have
like
his
going.
complete arc as Tony Stark, which everybody loved, and you
Yeah.
know, let him go out on that note. Don't bring him back just because you know it'll bring all the people that loved Iron Man back.
Yeah. And it's gonna be just like Deadpool and Wolverine, where it's just gonna be a bunch of cameos. Like, oh, look at this!
Yeah.
Look at, oh, he's there. Remember this character you like? There they are again. And
Right.
that's not why we like the MCU. There's like, like, we're fans. That's why Avengers do. That's why Infinity War Endgame worked. It brought all these characters together for the first time, and it felt rewarding because we were there for 10 years, and we got this conclusion.
And we'd never seen it before. Now
Yeah.
you just keep doing it. Yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, Doomsday and Secret Wars, directed by the Russo brothers. We've been there, we've done that. It's just, I don't know. I'm still going to go see it opening weekend. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know if I'm going to like it.
I might. I don't know. I feel like I
Capitalism.
have to now, but just
Maybe if we start the
because of
boycott.
nature of spoilers. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we start a boycott, but only after everybody promises to go see Thunderbolts and give it a good review.
Yes, absolutely. What are we sitting at? I think it's still sitting at like almost 4 on Letterboxd. Oh, did I get rid of my stinking... Where'd it go? Oh, I got my Letterboxd
rid of it.
page. Damn it. Wait, hold on.
Hold
I'll
on,
bring
I
it
got
back.
it. I got it. Hold on. Mine is up. It is. Uh-oh, I'm seeing everyone's ratings of everything. Okay, Thunderbolts.
3.8 still,
All right.
which is pretty good. That's like higher than the average of most MCU films over the past or post Endgame.
Yeah, for this type of movie, that's great.
Yes.
It's far and away getting rated 4 stars.
Yes.
4 is the most common rating for this, which I think makes sense. And
Yes.
most of my friend group has given it.
Yeah,
4
I'm looking
or
at
4.5.
I'm looking at our ratings. Obviously, I give it 4.5. You give it 5. Kat and Chris. Chris gave it 4. Kat gave it 4.5. And one of my friend groups, we have our one of our buddies who is. We always make fun of him because of his Letterboxd scores. He's not going to listen to this, so I don't. But he's not going to see this.
Send it
Anyway,
Send it
yeah.
to him. Hook him.
Can't do that. No, I think he knows because I think they make fun of him more than enough for this. But he gave it 3.5, which is good. Like
Okay.
3.5 is fine. That's like
For that
that's
guy,
like
for the critic guy, 3.5 is great. Yeah. Cook him in the comments.
it's so funny because we'll like make fun of him all the time because like the most of us will give a movie like 4.5 stars and we loved it, and then he'll go and give the movie 3, and we're like, well, did you watch the same movie? Or what's going on here?
Anton ego up in here with his critic. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the one guy who goes and gives Sinners 3 stars.
Just for that, I'm kind of plotting to go and give Sinners 3 stars already, and then just let you see it, and then change the rating to whatever I think it actually should be. But just to let you overreact for a minute. Be like, were you watching the same movie? And just crash out and be like, oh, sorry, hit the wrong button.
You just revealed your plan.
Well, like, you'll forget about it in 2 weeks.
Because
You didn't remember to get Swiffer pads at the grocery store. You'll forget about it.
Yeah, that's so true. Well, yeah, I mean, that is 100% true. If you would have given it, would have given it 3 stars without telling me that it was a joke, I would have been so pissed, and I would text you immediately. I'm like, I would have been like, I've been podcast over, friendship ended. Renee Rapp is my new best friend.
It's been a hot minute since we've
That's a
since we've
call back
ended
to
the
like
podcast.
episode 2.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute since we've spontaneously ended the podcast due to a fight. And we're still going. Like 67 episodes in, you can't stop us. Okay, speaking of still going, we're over time already, but let's get to the Met Gala, because we can double hacks next week. But let's get to the Met Gala since that occurred and is fresh in the public mind. We love a fashion analysis here on the podcast. We're going into this week with the disclaimer that Richie has seen these fits for the most part.
Yeah, I've seen
I
a
have
decent amount of
not
them.
seen
Yeah.
these fits, and we're gonna blind react to them. I'm gonna blind react to them. Let's see what we got from the first Monday in May. Shout out Ocean's 8. That is Rihanna with a big hat.
Yeah, Rihanna with the big cat, and she's also pregnant
I heard Rihanna's
again.
pregnant. Yeah, I heard Rihanna's
Again,
pregnant.
which is crazy because every time we see her, she's pregnant again. It's like she goes away and then back and pregnant. Okay,
She's
Good
very
for her.
determined to not put out more music, and I kind of like that for her.
I
But...
mean that's awesome. She makes probably so much money off of Fenty. Is Fenty her thing?
Oh yeah. Do your thing, girl. You don't need a check.
Okay, there's
She
that.
looks great.
Yes,
She does look great. Rihanna and Marc Jacobs.
Coleman.
Oh wait. Scroll back up.
Yeah.
Scroll back up for a second. Who is that in the Lady Gaga abracadabra fit?
Well, yeah, we'll get to her in a little bit. I think she's coming.
Oh, she's
back
on
up
the list.
again.
Oh, it's a video. Okay, I thought we were scrolling past people.
Yeah, no,
Love
this
that.
is like the entire. We can sit here and watch all 2 hours and 44 minutes of this video. This is like the
Oh,
variety
that's
live
okay.
stream.
That's the carpet cut. No. Let's
Yeah.
keep going.
There's our boy Coleman Domingo.
This one I told you looks like he will be auditioning for the role of curtains surrounding a Broadway stage.
Yes. I don't. Does it have like what? He also has a fit underneath as well. I don't
Oh,
know
he
if
has an
that's
underfit. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to show up here or not, but we'll continue. So there's Coleman. Coleman looks
we love
great.
Coleman. Whatever
Coleman's
he wears,
great.
he can pull off. Yeah.
One of the best actors on the planet. If you haven't seen Sing Sing, go see Sing Sing. Go find it. I don't know where it's on streaming, but one of the best movies of last year. All right, let's move on to the best fit of the night right here. Sir Lewis himself. Look at that.
He's missing the HP logo. He looks great. He looks great. He looks like he just found out that the Sir part of his honorary title mandated compulsory military service. But for the men watching and taking notes, which is probably not that many because of our podcast, but for the men, this is how you do a suit with accessories without looking boring. Like, yes, it has a consistent color scheme, but he's got the accessories in the jewelry. He's got the brooch that kind of looks like a war medal. He has, I think there's like tails on this as well, and there's sort of some accent on the pants. And obviously the beret, but like the cropped jacket is huge. That goes a long way. Like, don't be afraid to get a little tailoring and get a little cropping on your shirts these days, gents.
We were joking about this. We were like, oh, well, what other F1 drivers would pull off great fits on the Met red carpet? And Max was not one of our picks. Shocker.
No. I think I said Leclerc, but I would actually like to rescind that because I think he would just show up in a really baggy pair of trousers. That seems to be his thing. He
Yeah.
likes a wide jean.
Yes.
Like, all right, that's fine. Who did we say we thought maybe Yuki? We thought maybe
Yuki,
Yuki
I think Yuki
could go a
would
ways here.
would crush
Yeah.
it. Yeah. And then George Russell will just show up looking like James Bond. Okay. Anyway,
He'd fall on the
here's
stairs.
Pharrell.
Lewis. So these are all the co-chairs
Yeah.
early on as well. So Lewis, Coleman, and Pharrell, and maybe was ASAP Rocky a co-chair as well?
I can't remember.
I don't remember, but
might be right.
they were co-chairs of the theme and of the gala. And Pharrell, you're kind of boring me for
Yeah.
as much responsibility as you had on this. You're kind of boring me.
Yeah, that's not
And
great for real.
this is a man I would expect to have a huge hat, and he didn't have a huge hat.
Correct.
So now
yeah.
what are we doing?
Correct. Here's A$AP
There's A$AP
Rocky,
Rocky.
right? Is that him? Yeah.
Yep. A$AP Rocky with a bedazzled pistol handle, something.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's he got in there? It could be an
Oh, wait.
umbrella. I'm not
No,
sure.
I think that's an umbrella. I think you're right. It's a cane or an
Okay.
umbrella that looks like a pistol. Correct. All right, let's
Interesting.
continue
Okay.
on. I don't know who this is. Who is this?
Oh, that's Emma Chamberlain. She's an
Emma
influencer.
Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I like it. She again looks like
She's
the
missing like
Showgirls
all of her
poster.
jacket. Yeah, she's missing like. Why did she cut off like this? This is yeah. This is like a. Yeah, it's a full on like kind of fancy gangster outfit, but they just forgot to finish it.
The MC from Cabaret would wear this, unironically. Right?
Yeah, I could see it. Yeah,
Yeah.
this one here. This is
Oh,
La
did she-
Anthony. Do not.
she brought her duvet with her.
Oh, here we go. This is our answer.
There's
This is
Abracadabra
Tiana
Willy
Taylor.
Wonka. Yeah. I'm sorry. Look, I do like it. I will tell you this. I'm roasting out of love. I'll tell you
Yeah.
if I don't like it, but I like
Yes.
this, but it does look a little bit like the
Yeah.
category is dance or die.
Yeah, we got Ego Nwodim from SNL
That's,
here with a great hat.
Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. Yep. The crows have
There's-
eyes, the crowing.
Yeah, there is one outfit I want you to see, and I hope we get to it because it was my favorite of the night. I think.
Okay.
Outside of Lewis, and when you'll see it when you get there. When
Well,
we
no,
get
when I
there.
see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, big hat. Oh, there's your big hat.
Zendaya Big Hat. Yeah. Zendaya Big Hat is one of my favorite memes. She looks like Lady Gaga's Joanne album cover.
This is Carmen Sandiego, but white.
Yeah. I like Zendaya, but this is not her best Met Gala outfit ever.
Yeah. Shout out to
But
the
it is
dude in
on
the
theme.
back. Can you see the dude in the back here? Look at that dude's
Oh
hair.
yeah. Big
Iconic.
hair. It's like Andrea Bocelli.
Yeah.
Big hair.
This person who I don't recognize.
That's Hailey Bieber.
Oh. Okay.
Fine. Whatever.
Fine. Yeah. Okay.
This was my concern. This was my worry is that people were just gonna show up in some form of a suit.
Yeah.
And like love a woman in a power suit, but it has to be done well. That's boring.
Yeah.
That's
The
boring. Put
I saw
pants on. Why is everybody
I
without
saw-
pants?
I saw a great. I mean, I saw somebody say this too. It's like, I'm gonna say this. Whatever. White folks don't show up to the Met because you give us nothing every year. Truly.
Well, you can show up, but you have to do it right, and
Yeah.
especially on a year where the theme was like black tailoring and black excellence. Make sure you show out if you show up to that event.
Yeah. I did see a tweet about this. There was one white person who got got it, and we'll get to hopefully we get to this person in a little bit. Okay, so there's that. We have this person. Again, don't know who this person is.
That's a Jenner.
Oh, Kendall Jenner.
Maybe.
Kendall Jenner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, she's got the necklace that was stolen from Ocean's 11 or whatever.
Yeah, that's the Cartier necklace from Ocean's 8 that Anne Hathaway was wearing. We found it.
We got
That
Quinta
is-
Brunson here. Oh no, it's Io Debris. Oh
That's
yeah.
Io Debris. Yeah.
Yeah. Duh. Jesus.
Io
Quinta
Debris-
Brunson will show up later.
I like it, but the red thing looks like a chromosome. Does it not? But I like it with the drapery and the tails and It's maybe giving a little bit of like African heritage with like the beaded necklace thing is maybe the intent. I like it.
Yeah. She was also supposed to be in Thunderbolts. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
She was supposed to play the assistant to Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Oh, that would have been good. I think that would have been
Uh,
good. Julia Louis-Dreyfus in that movie was like evil Veep.
yeah, exactly. Actually, that's 100% true. Yes.
Yeah.
We have this is Coleman Domingo's husband, Raul Domingo, here with the purple outfit.
Great. Excellent. He looks like the
I
night
like
sky.
this. Yeah, this is the new Diamondback City Connect jersey.
You know what? Yeah. Yeah.
Side note: this would be a much better looking outfit than the actual Diamondback City Connect jersey.
Credit to the assistant down there in that picture who's fluffing somebody else's train in Raul Domingo's picture.
Yeah.
Great work.
There's Anna
Thankless
Wintour right there.
Anna Wintour. I would have loved to see Anna Wintour in a suit here.
Oh, she went halfway in
Yeah.
with the
Queen
coat.
of the Bob, but you know, she can do whatever she wants. It's
Is it
her damn thing.
is it a fuck ass Bob though?
No, that's a Bob. She is Bob, so you're calling her Bob. That was Bob before Lewis Pullman was Bob in
Yeah.
Top Gun. That was Bob before he was Bob in Thunderbolts.
I don't know who
Bob
this
is
person
bobbing.
is. This is B Karazuni.
I don't know who that is. She's not serving it though.
Nope.
I'll tell you that. Look, something about the Met Gala that I think we learned last year is like just because you're on theme does not mean that you're serving. And if you're serving, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're on theme. Those two things are not mutually exclusive.
Correct.
You have to be good about it.
I like how there's 306 pictures here, and we're never gonna get through all
That's
these.
everybody. Can you just click
Yeah.
on the best dressed tab and see if it'll fix that?
Well, I can. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess we can do that.
I want to see the well, because then it won't put in the worst dressed either. But
Yeah. Oh, who's this?
oh, who is
Dapper
that?
Dan. Dapper
Dapper
Dan.
Dan. I don't know who that is. It's a fit though.
Neither do I.
That's
Look
a
at
fit.
he's working at the
gonna step
jazz
out of
club.
He was driving one of those wide body white Lincoln Continentals.
Jesus. That's so true.
Love it.
Kylie,
Love it.
another Jenner. Why do we have so many Jenners at this damn place?
They
Kim
all go to that
Kardashian,
thing. Ooh, small hat. Small hat to
Char-
go with the big hats.
Charlie XCX.
Charlie XCX. Okay. I don't know what the bottom of that is doing. It's like a sarong that you would wear to the beach, but is it not fully tied? Is that why your hand has to be there? Chapel Roan looking
Chapel.
like Saturday Night Fever.
Let's go.
Okay.
Usher.
Boring. Man in a suit. Boring. Next.
Yes. Oh, Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh, Sabrina. I like it, but maybe with some pants. What is the posture also? She looks like she was actively stalking the photographer when they took that. It's like that's a little aggressive there. Okay,
Disco Ball from Jenna
oh,
Ortega.
Jenna
here.
Ortega.
Yeah.
Jenna Ortega. I like that. It looks like it's real metal.
I
Maybe?
saw a picture of her trying to walk up some stairs in this, and like there was no movement in this thing. Like she was like C3PO.
Yeah, that's the Tin Man if he was serving.
All right, we got
Wizard of Oz in London. That's Lady Gaga at Coachella in the opening act. She's got little
we got
dancers
some-
under there.
we got some frillies there.
That's Jon Snow, King of the North. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. There's no
Demi
peel off
Moore.
here.
It was her week. Yeah. I don't know about that one. Big hat. Very big hat.
Monica
Small hat.
Barbaro.
What's the hat thing? Did everybody get the memo about the hats? That's oh my god, that's Bert. No, Monica Barbaro is Bert from Mary Poppins right now.
We had the cigar here from Doechii. Again,
Doechii.
shorts, no pants.
Pants. Doechii, pants.
Yeah, nobody likes
Fine.
pants around here.
Pants.
Got, Cardi B here.
That's Poison Ivy if she were serving. She is serving, actually. I can't
Dude,
say
actually,
that.
no joke. This would be a sick Poison Ivy outfit
It would be.
in the actual Batman movie. And I think Cardi
Yeah.
B would be great. She's been in movies
Okay.
before. She's funny. I think that you can pull that off.
Yeah.
We got Kiki Palmer.
Baby, that is Kiki Palmer. Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah. There's that
I don't have any real
person.
thoughts
Lauren
about
Hill.
that. That's fine.
We got us. We got. Oh,
Lauren Hill. I don't know. Who is this pair?
this is
The
Dynasty Ogun and
sunglasses.
Soul Ogun.
The sunglasses on that one is... The one on the right is kind of serving Stevie Wonder, who I think Stevie Wonder was actually
Stevie
there.
Wonder is
and
there.
then,
Yeah, Stevie Wonder was there.
And then the one on the left is something. I like it, though. It was a risk,
It's
but
different,
I think they pulled it
right?
off.
Yeah. I got Gigi Hadid there.
We don't need to
this
see
guy.
more Hadid's, man in a suit.
Tom
Got
Ford.
it. Oh, that's Tom
Right.
Ford. Okay, yeah.
Oh, big
Tom
hat
Ford
or
was
big-
boring last year, too, if I remember. Hat.
Yeah.
That's like, she's cosplaying Zendaya.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we not vet these people's outfits to make sure they don't show up in the same thing?
And twins.
Yeah.
Okay, there's the we got the
Okay.
little train
Yep.
going on there. That's interesting.
Ooh, okay. It's only on one leg, though, apparently. I don't know.
Halle Berry.
What the Halle Berry? I had to. Boring.
Angel
This is
Reese was
Angel
there.
Reese. Kind of boring, though. I'm sorry, girl.
Yeah, we have other.
Kind of boring.
We have more WNBA fits to come, which are better.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to be in here or not, but
Kinda boring.
hello. What is
That
this?
look was very universe. Oh, what is that? Oh. That's what happens with all the wrapping paper that you get in your Christmas gifts that you just ball up and throw on the floor.
More suit here with pants.
Suit with pants. Okay. Better.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhat better.
Issa Rae.
Issa Rae. Okay.
Yeah. There's a Doja Cat.
I don't know about that one, Doja.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's fine. It's far from the most boring or the most egregious. That one's bad.
Eva Chin there. Don't know who that person is.
That one's okay.
Oh, hello. Jaden Smith.
Jaden Smith loves a headpiece. Didn't he wear that castle last year?
He did. Yeah.
Yeah, he loves a weird head thing. The fit would be fine, but it's the... What do they call those hats that people wear for the Kentucky Derby?
Oh.
I keep wanting to call it an appetizer, but that's not right.
Yeah, I don't recall. Oh,
hold on,
hello. We got
Googling.
some
Kentucky
some more
Derby
stuff
hats.
there.
They're called fascinators. Fascinators, appetizers, same thing, but you know.
close enough. I'm just gonna kind of like move through these pretty quickly, and we can kind of.
Sydney Sweeney,
There's
boring.
Sydney Sweeney. I'd never call Sydney Sweeney boring. Now
Shoot your
this is
shot.
boring.
That's boring.
What
Jeremy
is
White.
this?
Yeah.
Go girl. Give us nothing. Again,
Yes,
just
chef,
ban
give us nothing.
ban the white dudes from the dang gate. You gotta see. Joe Burrow showed up. Joe Burrows was the worst by any means. Yeah,
Is Joe
he was
Burrow
the
just in a
worst.
suit? Because that's pretty much all he wears.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Lakeith Stanfield.
Oh, I like that from Lakeith.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like my master's graduation gown with the extra sleeves. Not Lakeith, but who is after that. Yeah, that.
This is Miranda Kerr.
I don't know who that is. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry to this man.
Oh, I kind of like that one.
Brian
I'll be
Tyree
honest
Henry
with
here.
you. Brian Tyree Henry. It's very much giving like Henry VIII, like regal black king of a country.
But why? What is with the? You mentioned the drapes earlier.
I'm not sure about the tie with all that, but the drapes I think could work. I like that one. I think. Come back to me.
This dude's got a pole.
A cane?
Yeah.
An umbrella?
Hello? Is that DeAndre Hopkins? It is DeAndre Hopkins. I was like, wait, is that DeAndre Hopkins? It is.
That is, in fact, retired NFL player DeAndre Hopkins.
He's not retired. He's still playing.
Didn't he retire?
No, he's still playing. He's on the Titans, I think. Yeah.
I thought he retired after the Chiefs.
He ain't done yet.
Because he was mad about it.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't know.
but
Anyway,
do not know any of these people.
seems like
we
he's
ha-
on the Ravens, according
We
to
have
Google,
a
but I don't know.
LA hat here.
Mm.
Okay, he's on the Ravens. That's fine. Yeah.
I don't
I
know
know.
about
I
that
don't
one.
remember where he went.
Hat, another hat. Boring. Not
That's
it.
Taraji. Here's Taraji P. Henson. I like Taraji's outfit.
I
Another
like
hat
that.
with the cane.
Hat. The bowler hat. Bowler hat and the cane. Why is that a thing? All right, that's a thing. That's the
There's a
theme.
lot of people with the hats. Yeah.
The interpretation of that was very hat and cane. Okay, sure. Okay, sure. Big hat. Very big hat. Bang.
Biggest hat of the award goes to
Biggest hat so
Priyanka
far.
Priyanka
Priyanka
Chopra.
Chopra.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick Jonas's wife, Priyanka Chopra.
Yeah.
Big hat.
I knew that. I knew that. Yeah, I knew that.
That looks like something that Natasha Lyonne would wear. For a second, I kind of thought that was
She was
Natasha
there.
Lyonne.
She was there. There's Trudy Gatwa in the purple.
I don't mind that.
Okay, there's Burna Boy.
I don't know who that is.
Matt Murdock.
It's not bad. Yeah, it's not
It's
bad.
Matt Murdock.
It is. It's very best lawyer in Hell's Kitchen.
Omar C.
Don't know.
Yeah. More
Who
hats.
are the ones you really wanted to show me? There was I think Brianna Stewart was there.
Yeah, Stewie was one of. Oh, hello. What the hell's going on here?
Oh.
Shoulders.
Oh my goodness, the reveal, that's very
Alton Mason.
what was that cartoon with the spies? Like the black spy and the white spy. It was like Spy versus Spy or something that was on like
Oh yeah, Spy versus
Cartoon
Spy.
Network or
Yeah.
it's the silhouette is kind of given that, but then the
Oh, here we go. This is one of the ones.
chest
I wanted to show
reveal
you.
is nice.
This is Sarah
That's-
Snook.
Yeah, she's from Succession.
Yeah, who was like one of the few white people to actually get the memo and show up looking great.
There's a little bit of a vampire cape happening there with the like black and red lining. But I like it. I want to double check what those medals are for before you like send her to Romania because it's like for vampire.
This is talk about Spy versus Spy. This is
such a no-no, eh?
It is.
That's an optical illusion. My eyes hurt from looking at that for too long. That's
Okay,
a man.
let's. Oh, we have.
Ooh,
we have fur.
that's an NFL player.
It is Stephon Diggs. Nice.
There you go. Yeah.
Good work.
Stephon
Feathers.
Diggs brought his rug with him. That other lady brought her duvet, and Stephon Diggs brought his rug.
Right. Oh yes, here we go. Andre 3000.
With a full piano, Andre. All right, man. I gotta give you credit, because if you want to carry that thing around all night, so be it. You think that was the discussion in the dresser's room that was like, look, man, I guess I can't stop you, but realize that you are the one that has to be carrying this. Mm-hmm. Like, all right, man. If you want to put,
Yeah, I want to know what they
bricks on your
made
back, do
the
it.
piano after. That was one of the ones. Oh, speaking of Natasha Lyonne, there she is.
Oh, what is the color piece on that? If that were a man with a really full beard, it would be like he forgot to wash off his shaving cream before attending.
Oh, there we go. There's Kenton Brunson. Again, looking very 1930s gangster.
I do. I like that. The pinstripe suit Chicago mob gangster thing that was happening is like fine if that's the theme, but it seems like everybody got that memo.
Yeah, yeah.
Minus
There's
a few select
Regé-Jean
individuals,
Page
and then
in the red there,
Andre, who
looking
brought
like
a piano.
he's a member of the Sith.
He is. He's first order royalty, or he's in the conclave.
Yes, he's up for up. Oh, there's Questlove
He's up for
there.
Pope. Questlove.
We got that one. All right, I gotta show you Stewie. I gotta find Stewie.
Yeah, just control F me, Brianna Stewart here.
Yeah, here we go. Let's see if I.
The thing that I think is funny about all these people wearing like red outfits is I'm anticipating to see at least 60 people dressed exactly like that at a Mayhem Ball tour stop.
That's so true.
It's like these red leather outfits. Like,
where'd she go? All right, hang on. We're gonna have to. I'm gonna come back over here.
oh boy.
We're gonna stop screen, and then I'm gonna have to search for it, and I'll bring it up to you. Okay, here we go. Brianna Stewart Met Gala.
Give me Brianna Stewart, and then we'll call it a day. Unless Paige Beckers was also there. In fact, I guess we should include that too. I don't know if
I
she was
don't
there
think
though.
Paige was there because I
Okay,
believe Paige was like actually
who was
playing
there? Sabrina
basketball.
was there. Sabrina
A
Ionescu.
lot of the New York Liberty were there. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
let's see those two. Let's do a little WNBA spotlight.
Okay, here we go. I have to scroll through. Dude, why aren't any of these like actually giving me what I want?
Are they
Jesus.
all like they're all like probably web page files? I hate when that happens.
Yeah. All right, this one will work. This is from the NBA, so we can get it good. Okay, that
Okay.
this will work. Let's see. Yeah, we had. Okay, yeah, we'll go through this. Okay, hello,
Technical
and
difficulties. Please stand by.
oh, damn it, that's not the right fucking one again. Son of a bitch.
Should we just do a part 2 next week?
No, we can keep going. No, we're good. It's gonna here. Yeah, this is our last little bit we can get to.
All right.
WNBA stars
He's got
take on
it.
the Met Gala.
Oh, okay. This is from the WNBA
LeBron
page.
couldn't come because he was on he was he, I forget what they call it in the NBA, load management. All right, we begin with Sabrina Ionescu.
Didn't he? Well, the Lakers lost, so he just
They did. They got
came.
their ass
He didn't
kicked.
come because he lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fine, Sabrina. I'm pretty sure I had that same like white bandeau top in middle school. You like had to wear it under under
Right.
a tank top with really deep arm
Yeah.
sleeves so that it
Here
was
we
like
go.
for.
This is the one we've been waiting to show you. There's Stewie's
Oh,
look.
okay, Stewie. That's a little bit of drip there for Stewie. Again,
I don't
hat.
like that.
Theme of the Met Gala was hat this year.
Right.
The
Shout
hat
out,
man
Stewie.
was present. Yeah, shout out Stewie. That was well done.
Jonquel Jones here.
Okay. I like
Hair.
that too.
Very tall hair.
I thought that was the light fixture. just because of the angle of it, I thought it was the light fixture.
That's so funny.
I don't.
We already
mind
saw
that.
Angel
It's fine.
Reese. There's D-Wade and Gabrielle Union. There's
Okay.
there's them all together. There's
Dwayne Wade, I feel
Morgan.
like we saw Dwayne Wade last year, and it was like you were almost there, but just not quite.
Right.
And it was maybe the same thing again this year.
There you go. Oh, and Joe Burrow looked like crap because he showed up in like the worst looking blue blazer suit ever.
Yeah.
I don't even know why he was
okay.
there.
Because, well, NFL player, but also like Joe Burrow's face card is nice, but like make sure you're backing it up. That's our biggest fashion advice. I think we can close on that. That's like when you go to the Met Gala,
He should have shown up in the Batmobile. That would have been sick.
That would have been aura, yeah.
Which we
when
still
you go
haven't
to the
had
Met
confirmed if
Gala-
he actually bought the Batmobile or not.
I think he did. Didn't he say he did?
Well, he was asked about it on like Hard Knocks, and he kind of like played it coy whether or not he actually did or not.
He purchased it and said that he'll get the car in about a year, and that was like last December.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's
he
coming.
better roll up to the damn game in one of the in it, dude. Come on.
Definitely. Definitely. That means the Bengals have to make the playoffs, though, which is like less likely than the availability of the Batmobile. But anyway, that's our biggest advice I think we can close people on about the Met Gala is your face card is not enough to save you at the Met Gala if you have a boring outfit. And just because you're on theme doesn't mean you're serving, and if you're serving, it doesn't mean you're on theme. Do both, be better. And I don't know, maybe donate $75,000 to charity or something instead of spending it to have dinner with other rich people.
Sure,
Is that good advice? I don't know.
I agree. Yes,
I don't know. We're proletariat here. We don't know what to do with that much money.
so
We'll never see that much money in our lives.
No.
It's fine. Oh,
Absolutely not.
God. Anyway, late stage capitalism. Okay. You can follow us at 1 Hour 1 Brain Cell. We are at OHOBC Pod on everywhere that you get your social media, and especially the places that you get your Met Gala commentary, and also in the comment section of hacks on Instagram, probably. You'll see us there. So we'll be back with more of that next week. But thanks for tuning in. Tell your friends, tell your parents, go see Thunderbolts, and roast your friends if they give it a bad review from us.
Conclave.
Yeah, Pope Crave.
Okay, bye.